we were about to get into. The house was updated, but the front yard was a blank landscape. The backyard was nothing but shade. We had a really good idea that we were going to take that front yard and turn it into something really special. So what we did was we called our friend, landscape designer, Bree Glover. And what we did was we decided to design a landscape that would encapsulate a front yard space. And this would be filled with a bunch of ornamentals, but it would also have a bunch of vegetables. Then we were like, why are we doing this? Why do we have this big, stupid, green patch of grass in our front yard? That's not gonna feed us. Let's do this. So let's put in a whole nother big round of vegetables, call the same friends that we called the first time to install all that stuff. It's amazing what you can talk people into doing. You give them a lot of food and beverages. So we did this. We left a tiny little strip around this huge garden in our front yard. Took the grass out, called the friends, put the plants down, gave them some more drinks, crossed our fingers and hoped that the stuff would grow. We'd never done this before. So, after we got everything in and all the dust settled, we kind of realized what we had done. We started looking at the garden and we were thinking, this doesn't look like normal garden. It's in our front yard, it's not in rows, but we're not really the traditional, you know, ho-hum style people that plant gardens. We put 25 years of corn in that front yard. And let me tell you, after we did that, we got a big idea.
Let's commit to eating entirely from our yard and from local sources for 1 month. Our idea was defined by these elements. Let's start based on our crop production. Our local sources must be within 60 miles of our house, and we have 6 exceptions. We decided to call our idea local focal. We spent plenty of time watering, weeding, and waiting. Eventually, we had squash. We had lots of squash. We had straight neck squash, crook neck squash, patty pan squash, and zucchini squash. In an effort to prepare for local focal, we experimented with every which way to eat squash.
We baked it, breaded it, dipped it, fried it, grilled it, pickled it, sauced it, sauteed it, souped it, and stuffed it.
By this point, the garden was taking shape and pumping out some produce. We were getting plenty of looks from the neighbors and local foot traffic, sharing our idea and veggies as much as possible. It was during this early phase of the project we realized we were missing a key ingredient, protein. We didn't really have it. So let's get some chickens. The backyard could be used for something as it didn't get a lot of sunlight. So we did a little research, we checked on a couple local setups, and we built our own coop, put up a fence, contacted a local farmer, and we got some chickens. Within a couple afternoons, we had all that done, and fortunately our dogs didn't kill any of them, so we had 6 still. The chickens seem to earn their keep. They produce about 4 or 5 eggs a day, and they serve as remarkable garbage disposals for anything that we pull out the front yard that we can't eat. We feed it right to them. Every couple days we'd have enough eggs to where we were able to give them to our friends and family, so we were well stocked on that.
So here's what we did. We spent many evenings just sitting on the stoop, staring at the corn. We were kind of watching the transformation. And we were trying to define, like, what are our rules? Like, what is this local focal month stupid thing that we got going? What is the rule? What are we going to do if we go out socially? And what do we do if we want to go out of town? And what do we do? How do we make sure the farmers and stuff that we're buying is actually local? It's not always local. This is our first meal. It was August 17th, after we just harvested our first 6 ears of corn. We also had lots of grilled stuff. We stuffed some jalapeno peppers, Chapel Hill creamery cheese, drizzled it with some honey from local sources, smothered everything in Maple Valley farm butter. As you can see, we had an overabundance of vegetables, and this was often a blessing and a burden. Hand in hand, all we could do was make a bunch of food, hope our friends would keep taking it, and then keep giving a bunch of it to the chickens. We were like, we gotta start preserving, this is stupid. So, let's start with pickling. We started pickling. We took all of the jalapenos, all of the banana peppers, and all of the squash that we could get, put it in some little jars and some vinegar and sugar and whatever else that my mom told me to put in there. And then all of a sudden we're carrying around these little cute things and showing up at people's lunches and cookouts going, look what we made. Granted, remember, we've never done this before. I don't think we've told you that, but nothing was new. Everything was new to us. This was all fresh. We just started everything that we were learning from this month on.
During our month of local focal, we made blueberry jam, peach preserves, we canned a whole bunch of tomatoes, and we made a boatload of fresh pesto. We had enough basil in our front yard to probably give everybody in here some pesto. On a couple occasions, we would harvest a 3-foot wide by 3-foot tall thing of just basil leaves. And we learned from that sometimes you don't need to plant a lot of one thing. What else do we eat during our month? Well, we probably consumed about 120 eggs. We made about 20 or so scratch-made pizzas. We learned to make our own ravioli and pasta out of our eggs. We also made gallons of homemade ice cream, and I don't even really want to get into how much soup we made. Lots of soup. Most of the times we were spending, prepping our food and everything like that. We would always have a little bit of adult beverages around us to help us get through the process. And we really enjoyed discovering some of the local foods that we really didn't have any idea, like Chapel Hill Creamery, our local dairy, local cheese, local butter, and it can be found most anywhere in the stores here in town.
So what's the point? What did we learn? Why did we do this thing? Well, we learned that there's a real big value in knowing your food and knowing your farmers. And you know what? You can take a really small space and make a really big difference. Talk to your neighbors. Make them do work. You do work. You share produce. Everybody gets involved, and you don't just have the same ho-hum stuff.
And we started everything on August 17th, and we went to September 17th, and we couldn't have done it without Brienne, Linda, Drew, Ann, Jessica, Brian, Jamie, Calvin, Jonathan, Jenny, and of course,
Beverages.